And here we are on a Sunday. Yes, indeed. It's Sunday, the 2nd of December 2018. Welcome along to this morning's United Kingdom talk, coming to you from Bracknell here in Royal Berkshire. Well, I think I've upset Vivian this morning at church. Oh dear. Well, she wasn't there last week. And you know how jokey and sort of, I don't take much seriously in this life, much to the disappointment of an awful lot of people, to be honest. I just can't see the point in you start taking things seriously and you get all upset about things, you see. You start worrying, so I don't take life too seriously. Anyway, Vivian wasn't there last week. So this morning I've come into the church and she's sitting there. I've got next to her. Morning, Vivian. Morning, she says. And I said to her, I told them where you all were last week. And she said, what do you mean? I said, well, I told them that you'd been out on the lash. I said, you got so drunk in a pub, you got kicked out and you couldn't make it for church last Sunday. Anyway, it didn't get much of a reaction. And usually she'll give me a little smile or something like that. Anyway, it didn't happen. Do it. So we had a bit of the mass and then there was the sermon. And at the end, he said, drink is not the answer to everything. And I nudged her and I said, I think he's talking to you. And she put where's my glasses? She put her glasses down the end of her nose and she said, don't be silly like that. Very serious. Oh, I thought she was going to hit me. I don't think she saw the funny side of it. Never mind. I found out who this was from. Did you see the show yesterday? Some nice person has sent me something through the post. How kind is that? You can send something as well if you want, including a Christmas card. I shall be giving you out the address in just a moment or two. Stand by with your pens. I know you've got your checkbook open at the moment. You don't need to be sending money. My big present I'm asking for or requesting, I don't demand, I don't write lists, I want you to get me. I'm requesting this morning, this year, a brand new caravan, large, okay, we'll have a 40-foot model, a little bit wider, so I can fit my fat arse in it, okay, and brand new caravan I would like, please, thank you very much. Probably cost about 60 grand, I know, don't give me all that, I know there's one or two of you out there sitting on loads of money, isn't there? Oh, can't spend the money, oh, don't want to spend the money. Oh, no, can't spend the money, no. Yes, you can. You can afford £60,000 for a brand new caravan with full central heating and winter specification, please. Because mine is a bit cold up north at the moment where I'll be going tomorrow again. Anyway, so address coming out for your Christmas cards in a moment, all right? Yes, I got this yesterday. We didn't know who it was from. I have since found out. Due to further inquiries, this was from Roy Brownlow who sends this in. If I get a little bit too close, it might blur out, so you can't quite see that. It's Caravan Keys. It says Caravan Keys, Chris's Caravan / Studio. Thank you very much to Roy Brownlow for sending this little... And it's wooden. Isn't that lovely? Get a little wooden gift like that. You could have varnished it, actually, Roy. That's going to get a little bit dirty in my pockets. The wood will start picking up the dirt. I might get a little bit of varnish on there, I think. All right, who's with us this morning then? Good morning to Maureen. Just sending a text in this morning. Good morning, Maureen. Watching me on a big telly. Good morning. On a brand new, she got a new TiVo box. TiVo. That's a good name, isn't it, for something? TiVo box. I like that name. Right, first message of the morning on Facebook Live goes to my nephew, Gary Butler. Good morning, Gary. You must be bored this morning to be on so quickly like that. Congratulations. Yeah, first message of the morning to Gary Butler. Wendy's there. Good morning, Wendy. Wendy provides our delightful Barry Manilow calendars. She's already sent me the Barry Manilow calendar for next year. One moment, please. Let me just reach over. Here it is. Okay, here it is. You're wondering why I'm holding it to the side, aren't you? I don't look... Well, you can see the front of it if you want. There we are. The Barry Manilow 2019 calendar, which will be promoted there heavily throughout the course of next year. Okay, I don't show you what's in it. That's the excitement of having one of these. To open it like an advent calendar. Oh, what's going on with the advent calendars, dear? I'm going in shops, and I've said this last year as well. I'm going in shops, and I'm seeing advent calendars everywhere. Where's the baby Jesus? Where's Mary? Where's Joseph? Where is the donkey and the 3 wise men? The gifts, the crib. Nothing. Perfumes? What is that about Advent? And there's this one with drawers in it, and every time you open a drawer, a new alcoholic beverage drops out. No picture of Mary at all. Where's the blooming donkey? Not even a donkey or a Christmas tree. Alcoholic Advent calendars? Please do me a favour. At least have one picture of the baby Jesus on there. Dear me. In fact, there's an Advent calendar. I've got a story here. Where is it now? One moment, please. There's been a story. How sad are people to write in about this? This is in today's Daily Mirror, boys and girls, in this morning's Daily Mirror. And it says, chocolate lovers have accused... Where are you? Mars. Chocolate lovers have accused Mars of ruining Christmas. Now, wait for it. How would you consider your Christmas ruined, eh? Perhaps someone dropping dead? Burnt Christmas dinner in the oven? Or perhaps you're going to be one of those people sitting there with no presents. Oh dear. It doesn't matter. People are around you. Chocolate lovers have accused Mars Incorporated of ruining Christmas for a second time after offering an unpopular choice of chocolate for door number 2. So I wonder what was in door number 1. Door number 2, not popular. We read, the makers behind celebrations have come under fire for the second day running for their choice of Advent calendar treats. People have been left, this is in the Daily Mirror, outraged. How sad are you to write in about this? Outraged after discovering the chocolate behind door number 2 of their Advent calendars is a Snickers. Now, I didn't know this was an unpopular chocolate, but it can't be that unpopular, otherwise they wouldn't be making it. I'm myself not a fan of Snickers. Of course, Marathon, it used to be called Marathon. I'm not a Snickers fan either. But it was that unpopular, they wouldn't make the thing. So I don't know what they're all moaning about. Mars Incorporated, the company which makes the chocolates, also came under fire from Twitter users. You know, Twitter users. Do you know any Twitter users? Sad, lonely, pathetic people who just spend all day looking at stories and then typing in comments. Twitter users. They have no life. They have no life whatsoever. They sit there on the Twitter. Not everyone. Some people are on and off Twitter, you know, a couple of times a day, maybe once a day. They do their bit and then they're gone. Other people, their entire lives are sat tapping away, making their comments known and just being particularly vile to people. I've had a few. I've had a few, dear. But what they want is attention, okay? So when you get a nasty comment, do not respond in any way, shape or form. Simply block and you never have to see that sad, lonely, pathetic person again. Isn't that marvellous? I mean, I'm sure I've been blocked many times, to be honest. Mars Incorporated also came under fire for Twitter users for its choice of Advent calendars for door number 1. Door number 1. Many chocolate lovers were fuming. I mean, these are only little things like this. You know the size of those chocolates you get in a celebrations tin or something like that? You know, have you seen, how many chocolates are in this year's celebration tins? Is there more than 5? They're getting smaller and smaller, aren't they? That's the size of the chocolate. This is what people are complaining about. It wrapped like a little boiled sweet. That is the size of the chocolate they're complaining about. Many chocolate lovers were fuming after unveiling a mini bounty chocolate for the first day of the Christmas countdown. Who's writing these stories? Are you desperate for stories or something? There's nothing wrong with a bounty, dear. The taste of paradise. That's what they call bounty. The taste of paradise. Mind you haven't tasted me. I taste quite nice. I do. Christmas is now cancelled. Oh, you can't be. This can't be for real. Christmas is now cancelled, according to some users who have never been so disappointed in their lives. There was also, they're probably great big fat people sitting there disappointed at the size of the small sweets. That's what it is. That's what it is. They're fat, they have the chocolate, and they're still hungry afterwards. Well, go down the road and get one of those great big Galaxy bars that I used to eat. Yes, please. There have also been varying emotions ranging from anger, disappointment, and even heartbreak. Here's one. Charlotte Elliott on Twitter said, a Bounty on day 1, a Snickers on day 2. What have we done for you to hate us so much? Celebrations, advent calendars, Snickers UK. Well, you must know what's going to be roughly in there. What did you think was going to be in there, you stupid cow? What on earth did you think was going to be in there? You think everyone's going to be like a strawberry or orange cream? I mean, it says Mars. The clue is in the title. Mars. What do Mars make? Well, 2 of the things are Bounty and Snickers. I mean, how thick can you be? Here's another one. Lucy Gaddis says, Bounty in first store and Snickers in the second. Celebrations advent calendar is really doing me dirty. You've got to be sad to sit there tweeting this crap, haven't you? Meanwhile, at CAZXXXX was also unhappy with the choice and said, shout out to Celebrations for making the first 2 chocolates in the advent calendars the worst 2 ever. Bounty followed by a Snickers. No thanks. The same could be said for at Mega Manzaro 11, who tweeted, at least it's not an effing Snickers. Number 2 in my celebrate. Oh, it's just sad. It's just sad. Could have been worse. Could have been a Snickers celebration, she says. Oh dear. Snickers consist of a nougat topping with caramel and peanuts that has been enrobed in milk chocolate. It is often the last chocolate left behind in a tub of celebration. Yeah, I don't eat them either. I don't like him. Much like the Bounty. No, the Bounty's nice. The only thing with a Bounty, it gets caught in between your teeth, doesn't it? You know, the little bits of coconut. Desiccated. I like that word. Desiccated. Do you like that word? Desiccated. Desiccated coconut. Little bits of desiccated coconut get stuck between your teeth, don't they? Much like the Bounty, a coconut variation produced for the company. So, I mean, I don't know how sad you are to have to take to Twitter and write stuff like that. It's just unbelievable, isn't it? Some people in their lives have got nothing else in their lives other than to complain about the latest advent calendar. Very, very sad. Never mind. Good morning to Chris Plant this morning. Good morning, Chris. Haven't seen you for some time. Morning, Chris. I don't want to leave anyone out. John Parrish, a very good morning to you. Alan Russell, good morning, Alan. Wendy Young, said hello to you, Wendy, haven't you, darling? All right, my love. Adam the plumber's there. Him and his other half, they went to see X Factor last night, didn't you? I did see your little post there with your shining little X Factor tickets there. Must be very different. I haven't seen a TV show being made for some years. It's probably very different now, I would imagine. I think the last thing I went to see at Television Theatre in Shepherd's Bush was Bruce Forsyth's Generation Game. That's the last time I went to a TV show. Bruce Forsyth's Generation Game. Yeah, first time around. I went to see That's Life, Call My Bluff, Love Thy Neighbour at London Weekend Television. Yeah, I've been to see a few TV shows, but not in the last 20 years. It's probably really different now. With all, those days, there was a bloke behind a camera, moving it around, perhaps someone else on wheels pushing him. Now, we've got all these things on rails and everything. Very, very clever. Hope you had a nice time there. Good morning, Stuart Skinner. Morning, afternoon and evening on the happy first day of Advent. Yeah, I did look for a large Advent calendar, but I couldn't find anything suitable, really. Incidentally, Christmas news at Aldi. You might want to go down to Aldi today. I'll tell you that a bit later. Okay. Good morning to Joanna. Morning, Joanna. Roy's there, who sent a keyring. Thank you, Roy. All right. Alan Russell. Oh, sorry, you're talking to someone. Morning to Shania. Coco Bungie over on YouTube. Get ready. I'm going to give you the address in a minute if you want to send in a card or anything. Okay. Mohammed, good morning. He's in Pakistan this morning. Good morning, Mohammed. Katie Ann Patterson, good morning. Vince Goldsmith, morning to you, sir. 25 to 12. Just coming up to afternoon, of course. Let's have a look there. Wendy says, can't believe how pathetic some people are. Well, they are, Wendy. They just sit there on Twitter complaining. That's all they do. Sit there all day on Twitter. That is their entire lives. Boring, love. Boring. Hello to Sune. Good morning to you. Happy birthday to... Not happy birthday. Happy Christmas to you, Sune. Happy Christmas. You had your birthday a few weeks ago, didn't you? I remember. Thomas is there on Vaughan Live as well. Candy bars. Thank you, Thomas. Here's the address. Are you ready, boys and girls? Here it is. Looks here. Can you see that? Can you see that? It's Chris Reardon, Central Station, 37 Wharfdale Road, London, N1 9SD. Okay? Once again, it's Chris Reardon, Central Station, 37 Wharfdale Road, London, N1 9SD. I know some people like to send in cards and things like that. Don't feel you have to, okay? Don't think you have to. If you want to, it's there. If not, that's fine as well, okay? Good morning to Nadia as well, who's joining us on Facebook Live this morning. So, yeah, I've already done me, as I say, I upset Vivian this morning. But at the end, she seemed all right at the end, so I kept quiet after that. Don't want to upset Vivian. Proper Catholic, darling. I've done my washing already this morning. Put the washing machine. I got up around about 7:20. I usually do on a Sunday. And put the washing machine on when I got back from church. That was all nice and done. Yesterday, I told you yesterday I had to suddenly leave you, didn't I? Now, I hope I finished whatever story I was trying to tell yesterday. Let me know if I didn't. And if I didn't finish it, because I can't remember what it was, then tell me what it was about and I'll finish it now. But the reason I had to leave, of course, was because I have got a chip. I had a chip in my windscreen, which I got the other day. I went to look at a house, actually, in Lincolnshire. Nice house, but there was a couple of things I wasn't happy with. East-facing garden, and there was some noisy sort of teen, I would say, 14, 15-year-old-ish, noisy teenagers outside a house a couple of doors down, which I thought was a bit odd, on a Tuesday at like 1 o'clock in the afternoon. And I said, well, why aren't they at school? Oh, they're taught from home. And I thought, problem children. I don't want to be living next to any of those. But on the way back, the road is really narrow there, and this great big lorry was coming towards me. So I pulled over to the side and slowed right down. Well, the lorry didn't pull over. No, it didn't really, actually. The lorry hardly pulled over, but didn't slow down. There was a load of mud and stones, and as it went past, it was like someone threw a load of stones at my car, one of which ended up chipping a bit out of my windscreen. I didn't notice that, actually, for a couple of days. I thought, I know where that's come from. So it was like a chip out, and there was a couple of lines either side of it. Now, the thing is with that, you must get that sorted, because that line can suddenly, without any warning, go right the way across and the whole thing shatters. You don't want that while you're on a motorway. In fact, I've known someone told me a couple of years ago, they had a stone chip that they didn't sort out, and they were simply on the motorway going at, about 70 mile an hour, whatever. And suddenly the windscreen just went with us both. Could you imagine when you're driving at that speed, and you've got the wind coming towards you, that is some pressure on that windscreen. Well, it just shattered. What can they do? That's how it is. So I wanted to get it sorted. I rang up someone. I was just going to take it somewhere, get that done. And I think it was my sister, I think, who said, oh, are you going to ring up the insurance? Oh, no, I don't want to, do the no claims thing. I've got full no claims bonus. Don't want to damage it. I'll just pay for it myself. She said, oh, no, usually windscreens, that's not included in that no claims thing. So if you have a problem, you just ring up. So I did ring them up. And that was last week. And I made an appointment for yesterday morning. Okay, so the week came and went. The chip didn't seem to get any worse. As I say, it was a chip out the screen and a couple of lines either side of it. And in the morning, just before I did just before I did a show, I thought I'd just give them a ring. It must have been Autoglass. So I look up the number for Autoglass, and I rang them. And I said, oh, yeah, I'm just checking. I've got an appointment this morning, 9 to 12, I think it is. So, of course, she couldn't find it. She said, what's the car reg number? So I gave her that. She said, no, I can't find anything on the system. I said, well, I've got a reference number. So I read the number. She said, well, that's not one of our numbers. Are you sure it's us? I said, well, I'm pretty sure. I said, but I'm not 100% sure. I'll double check. So I then went back to the insurance company. Of course, you have to be careful ringing those sort of people on a Saturday because they're only open till 1. But this was about 9:30 in the morning, something like that, just before I did a show. And turns out I'm ringing the wrong people, aren't I? It wasn't Autoglass at all. I think it was a company called Mobile Windscreens. So I rang them up. Lady answers the phone. You know, after you got press 1, press 2, oh, Christ. Endless things to choose from. So I rang them up and she said, yes, indeed, you've got an appointment 9 to 12. Okay, that. So I'm sitting in there. I thought, well, shall I try and do a show now? I think it was about 9 o'clock yesterday morning. I can't remember. I thought, well, I'll go and people will understand, you know, if I have to go. And that's fine. So I did. And we got so far through the show and then the phone rang and it was the mobile windscreen bloke. And he said, oh, I'm right outside by your car now. Oh, right, okay, I'll come out. And then we stopped the show and down I went. Nice bloke, and he'd parked up on the little bit of green next to my garage. And I said, do you want a cup of tea? He said, oh, yes, please. So I come back and made him some tea, come back out again, and he had this device on the windscreen, which was like 2 suction things on there. I said, right, well, I'll leave you to it, mate. I'll go inside. Don't worry about walking down. Just give us a ring and I'll come straight back out again. So that was about 11:15. At 11 o'clock, phone rings. I said, oh, it's all right, mate. I've done your window. And we had to read this thing. They give you a card to read. And basically it says, you know, they do their best to fix it. It is possible that it can be made worse by this. And you must understand that before you allow him to do the job. And then if the windscreen needs replacing, you have to pay the excess. And that's fine. So I read that. I said, yeah, that's all right. And then I signed a bit of paper. Okay, get on with it. Thank you. Come back in the house. Well, 15 minutes later, the phone rang. It's him again. He said, oh, I've done it now, mate. Do you want to come out and have a look? Oh, right. Okay. I thought he'd be there an hour. At least an hour. I've gone out to the car. And he said, there you go, mate. If you just want to sign this. I said, I'll just have a little look first, if that's all right. He said, yeah, okay. I'm looking at the windscreen. Well, you can't see it. You can't. I mean, it's that. I've never had this done before, you see. It is that good. You cannot see where the fault was, where the damage was. No idea. I can't even see no line, no chip out. And I'm like, well, where is it? He said, yeah, I'll show you. And he had to point to it. And where the damage had been done was a pinprick little white spot, and that's it. You get in the car, you can't see it. Can't see it at all. It's like it was never there. How fantastic is that? I was absolutely gobsmacked with how good that repair was. And of course, you see, it saves the insurance company a small fortune as well. And then I said to him, well, what do I do now? He said, just sign that. He said, there's nothing to pay. We just go straight to the insurance company and they sort it out like that. You see, it's good for the insurance company to do that as well, because had that have required a new windscreen, I would have paid my £75 excess, and it would have cost the insurance company another, I don't know, £500 or £600. You know how much it is to buy a bit for a car. It's disgusting how much they charge for bits for cars. But that's what it would been, I would imagine, like £500, £600, £700. So by the insurance company, they've sent this bloke out. He charges about 50 quid, 45, 50 quid, something like that. It must be that, because before I rang up the insurance company, I had a little search on the internet. Windscreen chips repaired, £45. Oh, well, even if I had to pay that out, I wouldn't really have minded, to be honest. But it's included in the insurance. And by them sending him out for 45 quid, they've potentially saved themselves 500, 600, 700 quid, isn't it? So it works all round. But as I say, I was absolutely amazed at how invisible the damage was after he'd done whatever he did to it. I didn't stand out there and watched him. I think that's a horrible thing to do. I used to be a BT engineer, and there was nothing worse than you're on your hands and of course he wasn't on his hands and knees. You're on your hands and knees putting wires together or stapling wires or under the carpet if they've asked for that. You shouldn't put wires under a carpet, but some people like it. Some people ask for it, so we just did it, to keep them happy. And there's nothing worse than someone peering over your bloody shoulder. Oh, what you doing now, mate? Oh, right. Oh, what? Is that all right like that? And, no. Just make him a cup of tea and let him get on with it. Blokes hate that. being like peered over the soldier and, how do you do that? I might do that to my sister at Christmas, actually, when she's doing the Christmas dinner. How are you doing that in there? I said, can you just turn it up a little bit? Isn't it annoying? Like when you're doing something, okay, and someone offers advice on what they think you should be doing. I hate that. Don't you just hate that? They do it at a karaoke. Oh, can you turn the music up a bit more? Can you turn the mic up a bit more? Noah, good morning to Noah. Welcome back, Noah. Hope you're well this morning. Morning to Wayne Martin. Good morning, Christmas. Nadia, what is the topic that you're discussing? Well, if you listen, you'll find out, Nadia. Do pay full attention to the show, dear. Morning to Andy Henley. Monica with me at the moment, watching for the first time. Good morning, Monica. She enjoyed her Snickers and Bounty. Absolutely. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Brian James. Good morning to Brian, who sent me a little picture of his dog a few moments ago. Good morning, Brian. Hope you have a nice Sunday. Hello to Spammy on YouTube. Ken Lloyd is there from Canada once again. Ken, you're becoming very regular. Very regular. Morning, Ken. Diane Jebb joins us a little bit late this morning. Do try and be with us at the beginning of the show, Diane. Michael Lawrence, good morning. Yes, you didn't turn up at the karaoke, did you? Because he had to work late on Monday. Coming next Monday. Is that like tomorrow or the next Monday, Michael? Which one are you coming to? Do let us know. Hello to Jose. Morning, Jose. Thomas, distractions compromise the quality of the work. Yes, that's another reason why not to talk to workmen while they're getting on with their job. Just leave them to do it. If you want to complain afterwards. I must say I'm not a complainer. Some people are. I don't know, you painted a wall or something. Oh, could you just touch that up? Well, instead of saying, that's a really good job. Thank you ever so much for doing that. Do you think you could just do that little bit there? Now, I wouldn't mind that, but no. They just go straight for the negatives. Oh, I'm not very happy about that. Oh, just shut up. Shut up. They done the best. Stop moaning. Morning to Sonja, who's in Australia. What part of Australia are you in, my darling? I've been 5 times. I love it. I would like to purchase the Sydney Opera House and live in that. I think that would be a lovely building to live in, don't you? All right, Michael Lawrence. Did I go to Mass this morning? Yes, I mentioned that at the beginning of the show, Roy. Are you a bit late? You're a little bit late this morning, aren't you? Okay, Michael, I'll see you next week then, all right? Moaners, that's exactly what they are, moaners. A very good morning to those of you joining us on Periscope as well for our little bit of a chat this morning. All right, so that was the windscreen repair. That was done yesterday and highly recommended. If you ever get a little chip, just take it down to one of those windscreen repair places. It's probably, I don't know, it's some sort of plastic or I don't know how they do it. Oh, it's probably on YouTube, actually. It'll be on YouTube. If you ever want to know how anything works or is made, just look it up on YouTube. It's all on there. That's how my brother-in-law does stuff. If he's got a job, if he takes a job, he doesn't like. When I say takes the job, I don't mean for money. He does things for himself and for me and his family and all that. But if he gets like a job that he doesn't know how to do, he looks it up on YouTube, watches the show, whatever it is, and then just does it. And how clever is that? I can't do that. I wish I could do that. I was looking actually on the YouTube the other day about insulation for caravans, because my caravan is not a winter spec one. It's a little bit cold. Okay, once you've got the heating on and all that business, it's not too bad. But it is a bit cold. And I was looking at a lot of people recommend putting insulation underneath the caravan. And I can understand that. Because let me tell you, when it's cold, that floor, if you get out of the bed, off the carpet and onto the lino, my God, it's cold on your little tootsies. Cold! Like that. And there's people that, like, they're underneath the caravan and they pin up insulation of some sort, which is very good. I suppose being under there, or it might get, if it get damp though, I don't know, maybe they've got damp-proof insulation or something like that. And then there was another bloke under there. He literally got, big, not like the foam. Do you remember those foam tiles we used to put on the ceilings? Weren't they hideous in the 1970s? Do you remember those? I did it at my mum's house. Oh, I was very proud of that. I got these little thin foam things and stuck them on the ceiling. You try and get them off again afterwards. Although we never did. They were up right the way through until my mum and dad went up to heaven. You know, I think when me and my sister sold the house, they were still up there. No, not like that. Like great big thick polystyrene things. You literally stick them on underneath, and that's it. Done. I mean, the only thing is you've got to crawl under the damn thing, haven't you? What if it falls down on your head? Dead. I could do a show from under there, couldn't I? Morning to Matthew O'Toole joining us this morning. YouTube is DIY's paradise. I'm sure, yeah, you're absolutely right. Anything you want to know about anything, it'll all be on the YouTube, boys and girls. Just watch it on there. All right. So after that, I thought I'd go into town. I wanted to go to the bank, so it wasn't. I just about got there in time, actually. Went to the bank. I took the car. The car was already out, and plus it started raining. So I took the car. And as the car was raining, I thought, well, I'll just try my windscreen wipers. You know, I'm clean as a bell. I can't even see this white dot on there. I'm so impressed with that. Managed to get. It was so busy in town, and I found up. We're going round and round this car park at the Peel Centre, which is in Bracknell. And I'm reversing into this space, and I was aware that the lorry that was behind me was not a lorry, like a truck type thing, and like he was like a quarter in my space. I couldn't reverse back very fast. I thought I'd better be quick. Dashed into town, went to the bank. In the bank, they've got a Christmas tree up, right, with lights and baubles. It's exactly the same as it was last year. I reckon they just picked that Christmas tree up and put it in a cupboard somewhere. And then they just bring it out again and plonk it down. No effort at all made to change it any different from last year. No effort whatsoever. And going around the bottom is a little train that goes around. Oh, the kids are loving that. The kids in the bank. They're going round and round underneath this little battery-operated train, which I thought was quite nice. All right, now, talking of Christmas, after that, I went into Aldi. Okay. And once again, this always happens in Aldi. I tell you what, Aldi must be the only supermarket you can go in, right? And you got your basket of shopping, you get to the till, and you worry, I know this happens to you often, you worry that you haven't brought enough money out with you. How many times does that happen to you in the supermarket? It happens to me in Aldi, and you always have. I've never ever got to the till in Aldi and I wonder if I've got enough money and not had enough. And then they top it out and you still get change. How does that happen? It's a magical place, Aldi. Magical, dear. And funnily enough, I was at the till. I had £20 in me. I thought, oh, this is going to be more than £20. And she's like, that's £19.40, please. I said, oh, it's happened again. I give her the money. Oops, sorry, I just banged my microphone. Give her the money. She said, what's happened again? I said, well, often, when I'm out shopping and I get to the till and I'm thinking, oh, have I got enough money here? And I always have, and I always get change in Aldi. I've gone in there like before with like basket full of stuff and I've got 20 quid or I won't get much change. And then she's like, £7.43, please. And the woman behind me, she said, I save so much money now since I coming here. I used to shop in Waitrose all the time, as indeed I did. Now, I want to point out there's nothing wrong with Waitrose. The staff are the best staff in the world. It's spotless in there. Everything is laid out nicely. You don't go down, unlike Aldi, you don't go down one aisle and then there's blankets and cheap shoes and stuff like that in baskets. There's none of that in Waitrose, dear. It's all posh and it's all proper. But the price difference is enormous. It really is. And this woman behind me, she says, I save a fortune coming in here now. I said, well, so do I. I've just handed over, 20 quid. I've got change from that. Whenever I went to Waitrose, it'd be like a minimum of 50 or 60 quid I'd be spending in there. And I've absolutely noticed how much money I've got left over now since I started. And it started about a year ago, actually. I would go in there for the odd item. I'd learn, okay, well, the spaghetti in there is like 30 pence. Something like that, 30 pence. I'm paying over £1. I'll get the spaghetti in there. Oh, I'll try the soya milk. Soya milk, Okay? £1.20 in virtually all the supermarkets. Aldi, 58 pence. Tastes exactly the same. And stuff like that. And gradually, what happened is that my shopping changed more and more and more. And now I do it all there. The last thing I converted with was washing up liquid. Not washing up liquid. Well, I've already done that, as in plates. Washing up liquid. Oh, what's that called? Washing liquid. There's washing up liquid for plates and washing liquid for clothes, isn't it? Rather than the powder. Not washing powder, the washing liquid in the bottles. Because someone told me not to use the powder. They reckon it clogs up washing machines. I don't know if that's true or not. So I use the liquid now. And that was about the last thing I changed over with. I'll just try this washing there. Almat, I'm thinking. Almat, you lucky, lucky thing. I always think of that song by Randy Crawford. Do you know Almaz? Almaz, you lucky, lucky thing. Oh, 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 la, 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 la. Almat. They got their Almat washing liquid, non-biodegradable, because of poor little Chris's sensitive skin, very sensitive. So I use Almat washing liquid and their own brand of non-biological fabric softener, and it smells lovely. That was about the last thing I changed. And once I changed over that, now I'm sorry, girls, my lovely, lovely ladies in Waitrose, who I love very much. I now do virtually all my shopping in Waitrose. In Aldi. Because of the fortune that I save. An absolute fortune. The only thing sometimes, I think it's particular to this branch, actually, here in Bracknell, doesn't seem to happen in Skegness or Boston when I'm up north, but the blueberries, you have to watch the blueberries because often in this one, they're mouldy. I've got another 4 days left on the label. So what is it today? The 2nd of December. I might go in there later and they might have blueberries dated the 5th of December. And you look at them and they've all gone mouldy. And you lift up the box underneath and they're mouldy. And the box underneath that and they're mouldy. So I don't think they're cooling them down properly. Possibly in transit. The ones I've bought in Boston and Skegness, there's never anything wrong with those ones. It's this particular branch. And I've mentioned it a couple of times. I go around now. I said, I've looked at your blueberries. And it was me and a woman standing there. I think either last week or the week before last. And we were picking up every single one of them had like at least 2 or 3 mouldy ones in there. And it's not the first time that's happened in there. Strange, isn't it? Skegness is fantastic. Usually we go to Aldi in Skegness after we have our weekly outing to Skegness. That's my brother-in-law and my sister and I. We go for an an older person's night out. We go, usually on a Wednesday it is. And we jump in the car, either, I usually drive, or last time Martin drove my brother-in-law because I had a bit of a headache. And we drive there. First of all, we park the car, we walk round, we do the same thing every time. We love it. We park the car, go around, then we go into this chip place, and I have baked beans and chips, right? And they have various different things. Sometimes they have a kebab. I had a pizza last week. That was nice. We come out of there, then we go for a walk along the sea. Now, excuse me, I got itchy nose. We go for a walk along the seafront. Sometimes the sea's in. Sometimes it's not in, and we walk along there, and it's pitch black, some of it. It's just nice. We walk right along, then we turn left, and then we go to McDonald's for an ice cream. And then we might go and play on some of the machines if the place is open. A lot of places are not open now. In fact, I think I'm right in saying last time we went, which we didn't go last week. I missed it last week. After we come back, we might play on some of the machines. But 2 weeks ago when we were there, all the arcades were closed. Every single one of them. Pubs were closed. This is like 9 o'clock at night. There's no one around. But the only thing open is this place where you can get the chips. And they're nice chips. And they're not tight. They're not tight. It's piled up like that with chips and baked beans. Whatever dinner you order in there. I must find out that. In fact, I'll do a little video. Next time I'm in there, next week, I'll do a little video and I'll show it to you next week. It's a lovely little place, really. And it's cheap. It's cheap and you get a lot and the staff are nice and it's marvellous. Quite big in there. So we do that. Then sometimes we might play the machines. We did try bingo one week. I found it really hard going. It was so fast. I couldn't keep up. I mean, I won £5. I won £5. I mean, it cost me £17 to win that £5, but that's not the point. I won £5. And then they come around and give you biscuits. Packets of biscuits and crisps. Well, we can't eat those, dear. Terrible on the Slimming World as well. So we have a lovely time in Skegness. And then after that, we then drive. First of all, I go and get cheap petrol at Asda in Skegness, which last time I paid... Actually, last week I went to Asda in Boston, 117.9. Are you paying that for yours? Asda petrol, 117.9 it was last week. I gather it might be going down again at Asda. Up the road here, it's 130. How are they getting away with that? Even Sainsbury's is 121 just up the road from here. That's the nearest one to me, Sainsbury's. But the disparity at the moment between supermarket petrol and, for example, BP is enormous. And look at the diesel. How is there now? I saw it's the Sainsbury's up the road. So up the road at the moment, the petrol I believe, is 121 per litre. No, it's not. It's 119. I filled up yesterday. Up at Sainsbury's, it's 119 a litre. And the diesel is 130 a litre. That's a massive difference. I don't know why that's happening. But not only that, that's at one supermarket. You look at the difference in the petrol prices between, shall we say, Asda, 117.9, and BP. A lot of the BPs, they're still at 130, 131, 132. I don't know how they're getting away with that. You see, the trouble is, and on the motorways, even worse. Now, I saw diesel on the M4 last night, and I think it was 152. 152. That was at the BP near London, on the road going away from London, on the M4 going away from London. But you see, I mean, you wouldn't fill up unless you were desperate there, would you? You absolutely, why would you want to pay an extra 40 or 50 pence a gallon to BP when you can go to Sainsbury's or Tesco's and get a lot cheaper? It's outrageous. Absolutely outrageous. So then from there, we go to Aldi in Skegness. There's no one in there. 9 o'clock at night, there's not a soul in there. There's a lovely boy who works there, actually. He's about 22, 23. I always, hello, how are you today? And I try and make a comment, but nothing coming back. You know, I might get a hello. And I have got a couple of smiles, but I think, you know, after the third or fourth time of saying hello, they start getting a bit suspicious, don't they? And my brother-in-law, he susses it out straight away. He said, you always make a point of going over to talk to him, don't you? Or in a restaurant. You know, there might be a nice waiter, and I'll call them over. And then as that, thanks ever so much. That was really nice. And as they walk off, Martin will say to me, if that was a waitress, you wouldn't have bothered with all that, would you? And I'm like, no. If it's a really fit lad, they get massive tips from me, you know. £5, £10. Yeah, I'm a good tipper. I'm a very, very good tipper. It doesn't matter whether you're a boy or girl, to be honest. I'm a very good... If you've done me a good service, I will tip you well. Absolutely, yeah. These people in restaurants, they get sod... I nearly swore then. They get sod all money. They get really, really low wages. And then you get people in there who don't want to give them a tip. I mean, you tight old bastards, all of you. Give them a decent... They get nothing. They probably struggling with their rent, this, that and the other. Give them a decent tip. You know, 20%. You spend 50 quid, something, you know, you might have a family. You spend 50 quid on a meal or something. Give them a tenner, for Christ's sake. Not £2. Don't give them change, dear. Give them a note. Give them a note. Back to some of your messages there. Roy says, this show is like Adrian Mole's diary, age 13 and a half, Chris Reardon's diary, age 65. I'm not 65 yet, dear. 10 years for that, thank you. God, in 10 years, I'll be 65. Wow. How did that happen? No idea. Should be dead by now. I'm kept alive by the use of tablets. Thank you. Matthew O'Toole, Aldi is king, he says. Well, it certainly is. I've been Lidl as well. I prefer Aldi to Lidl. I don't know why. Just one of those things. I do prefer Aldi to Lidl. Roy, Aldi have like a car boot in the middle. A bit like cages of tack. Yeah, they do. They have these really cheap shoes. Really cheap shoes, but they sell them. People buy them. And what are those awful plastic things with the holes in them? I mean, they really are dreadful. What are they called? Good morning to Peter, who's watching the show in Woodall Spa this morning. Good morning, Peter, who's been busy in the garden. Cut the grass. Yeah, can you believe this? We're cutting grass on the first week in December. It's not cold out there this morning. When I was cycling to church, I had my coat on, I had a hat on, gloves. I had to take the hat and gloves off. I got ever so hot. It's like 14 or 15 degrees out there this morning. I was chilling out with a cup of coffee. You chill out and carry on watching the show, Peter. Is your mum around? Good morning to Bernie this morning, if you're around watching the show as well. All right, Bernie. Let's have a look here. Thomas, I like a nicely organised department hardware store. Yes. Well, it's not really Aldi. You wouldn't like Aldi then. It's not really organised in there. It's just people chucking stuff up on the shelves. What was that? Is this clock slow? That's slow, isn't it? Oh, it must need a new battery in there. That needs a new battery in there. That's 5 minutes slow, that clock. It's outrageous. I was looking at I have a radio clock in front of me, which is bang to the second. You see, and the computer. That's 5 minutes slow, that clock. Look at that. Yes, Thomas, you'd love Waitrose then. It is perfectly set out, all nice, clean, smart uniforms. Do you know what I mean? Adam, my mum got to Waitrose and buy So Italian ham. I took her to Aldi the other week and we found the exact same ham in there for nearly £1.50 cheaper. Yeah, and you see, Adam, that's just one item. It's just one item. I don't think I've ever spent more than £20 in one go in Aldi. Honestly. And, to be fair to Waitrose, it's the same at Sainsbury's. You go up Sainsbury's, you spend 30 or 40 quid straight away. I can think of some really good examples, actually. Fat-free yogurts. Now, I quite like Greek yogurt. It's a bit thicker. I only discovered Greek yogurt this year. Can you believe that? It's really thick. So most supermarkets will charge you £1 for one of those. Morrison's, I think, came out the dearest because sometimes I go to Morrison's. Right? Aldi, 68 pence. Well, you buy 10 of those. That's £4. I told you about the soya milk. Generally £1, £1 everywhere. £1.10, £1.20. Aldi, 50. I think it's about 55 pence in Aldi. Spaghetti, wow, it's like 30 pence. 30 pence in Aldi. A massive savings in there, massive. Wayne, one of the Reading Aldi stores is the same regarding blueberries, but the newest store in Reading is fine. It's just at the Reading end of the A329. Okay, so that's not far from it. Is that a big one then? That new Aldi in Reading? It's got to be something to do with cooling them down. Now, actually, our Aldi in Bracknell, it's not a massive shop. Certainly not compared to the Skegness or the Boston Aldi are massive. They're just like a normal supermarket, huge. The Aldi in Bracknell is not really not that big. It's our old Waitrose, actually. Waitrose pulled out of there. Oof, must be at least 10 years ago now. It was empty for a while, and then Aldi took it on. Thomas says fast food doesn't look like it does in advertisements. Oh, you're absolutely right there, Thomas. When have you ever gone to the lovely McDonald's and had a burger that looks like one of those pictures? Answer: never. They must spend ages getting the correct spot, the correct shot of a burger, mustn't they? When you think about it. See, they would pay someone. Probably it's got all sorts of sprays and lacquer on it to make it look wonderful. And then you get your burger from McDonald's and you open it. What's that? Do you remember McDonald's when you used to not be able to say, I don't want that on it? Or you used to have to. I remember going there when it first came open. McDonald's. Where did I go? Maybe the Putney one. And I went in there. I was like, can I have a burger, please? And I don't want the gherkin on it. Oh, that's how it comes. Well, just take it. No, well, that's how it comes. We don't make them to order. Oh, right. I remember that. It used to be like that. And I believe it was Burger King who first came out with their slogan, make it yours. And you would go in there and then you could say, well, I'll have a burger. I don't want the relish on there. Just a plain burger, please. And they would make it for you. And then McDonald's followed suit. I'm sure it was Burger King who first did that there. Good morning, Merlin. I hope you're better now, Merlin. You weren't well a little while ago, were you? Morning, Burling. There's Bernadette Lakes there. Good morning, Bernadette. Your son's just sent me a message. He says, you can't send a message on Facebook. You should be able to. Bernie has. Bernie sent me a message. Morning, Bernie. Busy morning at church today, first Sunday of the month, and selling raffle tickets for the fair. But did you do O Come Emmanuel? We don't do that one in Wokingham until the week before, and I won't be there the week before. Actually, I'll be up in Chapel Hill then, probably for that week. You know the O Come Emmanuel. Do you know that one? And ransom captives. Now, some people, they sing it differently. In some places, they do, O come Emmanuel, and ransom captive Israel. But some places sing it like this, O come Emmanuel, and ransom captive. And they don't have a gap. And it trips me up sometimes. Why can't we all sing it the same, Bernie? But I might go to a church in Boston, midnight mass. Catholic Church in Boston for midnight mass. I've already seeked one out and located. Yes. I have a lot of masses in Polish there. A lot of Polish people in Boston. Although the 9:30 mass on a Sunday is in English. I actually had a look on their website. They are actually looking for another organist up there. The trouble is I'm not up there on Sunday, but maybe in the future that might happen. You know, I can see that happening in a not too distant future. Yes. So good luck with that. Roy was a security guard at Aldi years ago. Deer's nicking tins of ham and salmon. I was blind to them. Oh, no, you can't nick old Deers. I'm sorry. You can't nick old Deers. Let them get away with it. I have actually seen someone run out of Aldi with a basket full of shopping. I've seen that. And across a bit of green here in Bracknell. I mean, how sad must you be to be caught nicking stuff from, of all places, Aldi? You can understand it in Waitrose, can't you? But Aldi? Christ. I mean, some people must be really poor to have to nick from there. That's all I can think. Now, what's happened here? Something's gone wrong with my messaging systems. One moment, please. Let's get that back up there. There we are, just in case. Why won't I can't get that back? There we are. That's working now. Good. Lidl, try it. I have, Roy. I have tried Lidl. I did. It was all right, but I prefer Aldi. Thank you very much. Merlin, only time I have fast food is from Five Guys. Oh, yes, Merlin. Oh, the chips. Cajun chips in Five Guys. Mm-hmm. And those milkshakes. £5! £5 for a milkshake in Five Guys. But I tell you what, you won't get a much better one than that. Here's something for you to try. Get a milkshake from McDonald's and let it go slightly warm. It's disgusting. Yes, that happened. I forgot. I didn't purposely put it down. I thought, I've forgotten that. And it was disgusting. It was vile. And there was something about the cold that makes it all come together. This milkshake had warmed up and it was absolutely vile. But the best milkshakes, Five Guys. You're going to pay £5 for them, but they are absolutely delicious, Merlin. Oh, yeah. We must meet up in Five Guys in perhaps King's Cross one night before I do my karaoke, something like that, all right? Wayne, the newest Audi in Reading is big. Try it. It's really busy though, but has lots of parking. Oh, I could go there at night. Oh no, mind you, I can't. The only night I could go was Sunday. I wonder what are they 4 o'clock on Sundays? Probably 4 o'clock on Sundays. Interesting fact: Reading is the only town with 4 Audis. It's the sign of shopping habits changing. Well, we're fed up being ripped off. We're fed up being ripped off. I mean, mind you, it's not necessarily so much. It's not all about being ripped off. It's a different business model, isn't it? I mean, have you ever known a member of staff in Audi with time to talk to you? No. Yeah, from one job to the other, chucking the stuff on the shelves and then opening another till and going back to their boxes stacked on the floor. Dear me. Burger sprayed with lacquer. I'm sure it is. Oh, I have no doubt in my mind that those burgers you see in pictures, you know, above menus. There's a spider's web on the light up there. Spider! They spray these things with lacquer to make them look good in the pictures. That's what they do. So you buy it, but you always open that little wrapper. Ooh. Nothing like the picture. Merlin, the only downside to Five Guys, there's nothing vegetarian apart from chips. Yes, there is. Yes, there is, Merlin. You can get this mushroom burger, which is just mushrooms. It's absolutely delicious. Have another look next time at the board. They do like this mushroom burger, but it's not burger. It is all mushrooms and onions and stuff they put in it. It's really nice, Merlin. Really nice. Try it. Say goodbye to about 20 quid, love. You know, if you can have that with chips and a milkshake and maybe a Coke as well. Shocking. Hello to Jurgen. Morning, Jurgen, who says, Belgium today, it's €1.58 per litre of diesel, which is about £140. Gosh, that's even dearer than us, Jurgen, isn't it? Petrol is £1.45, about £1.28 a litre. Yeah, you're dearer than us. Gosh, I thought we were the dearest for fuel and all that. Dear in Belgium, look at that. John Parish, I heard Boston was full of dodgy refugees. If it's true, I won't be buying there. No, it's full of people who are working hard to improve their lives, John, if I may correct you there. Thank you very much. Yes. Merlin, also have learnt in a new job that M&Ms in the UK aren't suitable for vegetarians. I don't really eat those. Don't really have M&Ms. I like Maltesers. Oh. Maltesers. Very tasty. Thank you very much. And Jurgen says, it is more expensive in Belgium. We are getting gutted here. I should think you are. That is dear for your petrol. Let's do some news stuff. What was I talking about? Audi. Audi. Oh, yes. I mean, I got onto the subject of Audi. Listen. When I was in there yesterday, the sign's up. Coming tomorrow, as in Sunday, as in now, they have Christmas jumpers for £4.99. Okay? So if you want Christmas jumpers, I'll be finished soon. Go down to your local Aldi. They should have Christmas jumpers. That's what the sign said yesterday, okay? They should have Christmas jumpers in there for £4.99. You do not have to spend a fortune on Christmas jumpers. My mate spends £50, £60, £70 because it's all woolen and nice. What were you going to wear it twice this year? I've got a selection of Christmas jumpers that I bought from Primark, actually, in the drawer next door. Which I've had now for 4 or 5 years. I don't see the need to buy any more. They last forever. And you only how many times you wear a Christmas jumper? Twice? Once? Twice? I might just go down to Aldi a little bit later and see what other ones they've got. I'm not going to make it, but if you want to get a cheap Christmas jumper, pop down there and have a look to see if they've got any Christmas jumpers in Aldi, which should be there now. £4.99. You can't go wrong with that, all right? Good. A couple of news stories for you this morning. Now, are you going to put up Christmas lights around your house? Are you going to put up Christmas lights around your house? Well, in the Daily Mirror this morning, if you have plans to illuminate the outside of your house, here are a few things you need to consider first. Are you notorious in your neighbourhood for draining the national grid from electricity when you put up your festive lights? Are you one of those people? I mean, I quite like it, to be honest, when you see the effort some people have gone to make their houses all sparkly and nice and Christmassy. A couple of things I'm not too keen on are the blow-up Santas or snowmen, which like bob around or they're on a roof and they just look hideous. But, you know, a few sparkly lights, tasteful. Even you can put a lot of lights on there and make it look tasteful. Or, you know, if I was to do it, it would just look all a bit tacky, I think is the word looking for. I can put lights up. I probably can't make them look very nice, though. Do you know what I mean? You've got to have an artistic eye. I'd be putting a light there, a light there, a light there, a light there. You know, nothing would like match or look right. But I could put them up. If you said to me, I want that there, yeah, okay, I'll do that. Put that there now. It says it's the weekend when many people start to decorate their homes for Christmas in the Daily Mirror this morning. If you have plans to illuminate the outside of your house, there are a few things you need to consider. Do you need permission? Right. If you rent from a private landlord or the local authority or live in a shared ownership house, you may need permission to put your decorations up outside. Last year, 2 readers told me that their housing association had written demanding that they take their external lights down. So check the terms of your lease or housing agreement. Okay? Next, can anyone stop me putting up Christmas lights? Well, no law can stop you from putting up external Christmas lights. There's no law to stop you. However, if they cause a nuisance to any of your neighbours or anyone else for that matter, you may run into an issue. Local authorities therefore have a duty to take reasonable steps to investigate complaints about nuisances, including those relating to Christmas lights. This is due to a law known as the Environmental Protection Act 1990. As a consequence, you could be told to take the lights down. Are Christmas lights dangerous? When people come onto your land, such as visitors and the postman, you owe them a duty of care. That is a duty not to cause them injury. It's therefore important that no Christmas decorations could cause a hazard. Last year, I heard of a story where a delivery driver in Sheffield tripped over a Christmas ornament placed on the homeowner's drive, and as a result, he sued for compensation. Do I need to tell my insurer? Now, have you got insurance on your house? You should have. Rita in Yorkshire. Rita in Yorkshire wrote to me. I don't really know, Rita. I don't really know. Rita in Yorkshire wrote to me about a house fire that happened last December. It was initially thought it was started by festive lights outside. When she approached the insurer, they rejected the claim. It was then discovered that this was in fact not the cause of the fire, so they paid out. But the point is, they wouldn't have done if the decorations had been the cause. So there you are, if you're one of those people that put all these decorations outside, and I'm sure you want to make it look nice and sparkly, especially if you've got children. They love it, don't they? They love it. Little light up reindeers and things like that in the garden are all very pretty. Of course, Christmas lights have come a very long way, haven't they, since perhaps some of you were children. Certainly when I was a child, you had to screw in those blasted bulbs. You take the Christmas down, you take all the Christmas stuff down, and then before you put the lights in, you screw them all up. Just not too tight, because then if you screwed them too tight, the glass would turn, and that's it, bulb gone. And sometimes you get the thing stuck in there and you're trying to get the damn thing out after unplugging it, of course. So you do them all up, you put it away, then you get the lights out, you put them back on the Christmas tree, and you plug them in, nothing. Then you start screwing the damn things in, and then you think you've got them all screwed up, and they still don't work. So you start changing bulbs and things, and you had one bulb which was the flasher bulb. It had in there a little bit of metal, you see, and it made the lights flash. One of the bulbs was the flasher bulb. That's how it all worked. Very clever, really. And often, as the years progressed, they would make it so that if the bulb failed, it would fail as a short. Okay, so the others would keep working, but it wasn't good to leave one or two or more bulbs failed with the rest on, because you put strain on all the other bulbs then. So as soon as you see one dead, you're supposed to replace the thing. But of course, you'd never got them, have you? You guys to go down to Woolworths and buy a spare packet of 4 bulbs, wouldn't you? Different colours, and they'd never be the colour that you wanted. It would be always the blues or the greens that would go like that. But Christmas lights have come a very, very long way now. And of course, you don't even have to plug some of them in now. A lot of them are you can get battery operated ones. And they don't go wrong. That's it. LED lights. I quite like the blue ones. My friend Ray Reynolds, he gave me a big packet of blue fairy lights for my caravan. He said, "Hey, I'll put those around your caravan." I haven't put them up yet. I might get around to doing that at some point, but I quite like the blue ones. And there's a particularly green one now. The green LED green bulbs are really nice as well. Darren, good morning to Darren. Keep on about Aldi, Chris. You might end up with a sponsorship deal. I hope so. I'd be happy to have their little. They've got a silver logo, haven't they? I could put that in the corner there. No doubt Facebook or YouTube would be on to me for that one. Oh, we want to cut the pie. Greedy, dear, greedy. Paul Adamson, petrol is around £1.47 in the Netherlands. Wow. Taxes on fuel are high. So it's much dearer in other countries than it is here. I think we're getting away very well. Even at the BP, it's only 132. 140. I think we're not doing as bad as we thought. If you want cheap petrol, you've got to go to Saudi or one of those countries. You know, one of the Arab Emirates, United Arab Emirate countries. It's like 20p there. Or now what's that place? It could be Venezuela, where it's if you give them 20p to fill up your car, they give you change. Honest. I think it's Venezuela or maybe Cambodia, one of those two. Jurgen, my Christmas tree never made it back in its box. It's been in my living room since last year. No. Has it really? That's really bad luck. Dear me. I believe every day should be like Christmas, and the kids enjoyed the different lights. If wish it could be Christmas every day. Da, 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 da. Oh, on the old guitar wizard, that one. Let's have a look. Roy says, Chris, advice please. Had another go at my 17-year-old lad about not making his bed he slept in Saturday night. Am I wrong? I find it disrespectful. No, just hit him. You got to hit him, Roy. What you? I'm a great believer in smacking them. The only thing is, at 17, he'll probably knock your lights out, mate. Make your bed. Whack. No idea how you're going to get out of that one. Well, I wouldn't go in and get your missus to make it. Oh, sorry, if your missus is there, I don't know. Don't get her to make it. Don't do any work at all in his room. Let him just live in a pigsty. Eventually, he'll probably do something about it. One of the most untidiest people I've ever come across was my niece when she was a teenaged girl. I went in. I never forget going into her bedroom once to see her, to say goodnight. And, oh my God, she's only rung up. That's her now. Just a moment. Hello? Hello? Oh no, missed call. Yeah, one of the most untidy people was my niece. That was her ringing just now. She can't have heard that. It was too soon. And I remember going into her bedroom when she was a teenage girl. And on the bed, you have never seen so many little bits of makeup and lipsticks and things like that. And I'm like, where do you sleep, Tracy? She said, well, I move it over and I sleep in the middle of it all. And again, my nephew, he was 17 at the time when we went to Florida. About 17, 18, 19, 20. Yeah, 4 years ago when we went to Florida. And in the apartment that we rented there, it was, I can't remember what it was now. I think we'd been shopping and I went in his room and there were 2 single beds in his room. And one of the beds was just completely covered with his stuff. I said, what's happened in here? He said, oh, I'm just putting my stuff away now. Such a mess. Dear me. Jurgen, every day I get that flat 9-volt battery ready and test all the lights one by one until you find the bad one. That's what we used to have to do with the old lights. It is. That's what we have to do. Gosh, it's cheaper in the States for gas. Yes, indeed it is. It is actually not too bad at all in the States buying petrol and that sort of thing. Alrighty, we're going to do today's birthdays now, boys and girls, because I'm getting a bit hungry for my dinner. I'll do yesterday's birthdays as well, because we weren't here yesterday. This morning, a lovely man that I worked with in the Belushes brand, in a couple of the different Belushes, Mark Lackey. He's got a pub in Whetstone, which is kind of eastish London way, but out a bit. Whetstone pub. Happy birthday today to Mark Lackey. I hope you and your family are all right and you're looking after Carla there. Hope she's happy. Happy birthday, Mark. Happy birthday today to Darren Evans. Darren Evans. Good morning, Darren. Happy birthday, lovely Crystal Decanter. She does drag as one of her jobs. Happy birthday, Darren. Ian Zachary Whittingham. Good morning. Happy birthday to you. Harvel today. Harvel is 54 years old. Paul Davis. Good morning, Paul. Central Station customer. Happy birthday, Paul Davis. And Richard Laidlaw. It is his birthday as well. Good morning to you, Richard. Happy birthday to you on this Sunday, the 2nd of December 2018. Yesterday's birthday, so that's Saturday, it was Anjum Shazad, was 35 yesterday. Peter J. Hollelly, Is that how you say it? Holelli, I'm guessing that. Peter J. Holelli was 33 years old yesterday. Great age to be, Peter. Don't think you're getting old yet, mate. My favourite age period was 32 to 47. So happy birthday to you. You're just in that now. David Newland, happy birthday to David. Jonathan Wormsley, good morning, Jonathan. And Stephen Artist, famous DJ on the gay scene in London. I don't know if you do straight places as well. Maybe you do. Happy birthday to you as well. Let us sing the song, boys and girls. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, boys and girls. And that's it for the show today. Thanks so much for joining us. Hopefully with you again tomorrow morning, around about 9:30-ish. Tomorrow morning, Monday morning shows, usually around about 9:30, somewhere between there. Don't forget to have your little notification things set so that when a show comes on, you know that it's here. And if you want to, you can join us. Enjoy your Sunday. Thanks for watching and listening. See you soon. Bye-bye now.